domestic violence seems pretty far from their life. We may not have a chance to experience it because they're like really great parents. But actually, domestic violence is happening everywhere, like all over the world. Like maybe some of you may have experienced it, even didn't notice it, because actually it's everywhere, and maybe you don't know like how to identify it. So today I'm going to talk about it and how to prevent it, and I will also give some solutions about it. So when you are really facing domestic abuse now or like in the past, please don't be afraid to talk about with people or like seek help. So the teenagers' mental problem is a really serious problem nowadays. The increase in the incidence of mental problem among teenagers, like in the whole world, are closely related to the increased incidence of mental problem, like domestic violence. And like for nowadays, there are more than 15% of people or even teenagers in the whole United States have experienced it because like most of them will experience it. Which it might not sound like really much, like a large amount of people experience it, but actually in every 7 children in the street of America, one of them may have experienced it. So the number of it is pretty large. So first we have to know what domestic abuse is. We also call it domestic violence. It's a kind of behavior that like mostly will happen between parents and children, or between some partners. Like for example, some parents will like abuse their children when it's to some extent. So this is a kind of behavior that exhibit control over other family members between like relatives and something, and that will lead to like really serious mental problem and like also some physical problem. So in some severe cases, even cause death. So the the things that happen on this kind of things is reversible. Like the early emotional abuse on children, like from a young age, will change the hippocampus of the abuse victims, which is to make them like hard to empathize the emotion with other people. So in some schools, they may not like can communicate with other people like with confidence or something. So it will really harm their self-esteem in many ways. So as one of my friends will have experienced it. Although like it seems just like the rest of us is really normal, but actually it cannot like have enough patience or something to talk to other people because they have when he was young, your parents always abused him. So that is really bad influence. Also, it will make them have kind of thing like self-loathing. This will make the victims like not willing to talk to other people and think they're useless to the world. They cannot understand their own values and what can do to the whole society. So that is also really a serious problem, and it will also lead to like PTSD, which is post-traumatic stress disorder, will make them hard to talk to other people. And this kind of case is always happening. Some people like have experienced domestic violence or have experienced some dangerous events when they were younger. So what is the possibility of the people who have this problem is increasing nowadays, because the more domestic violence occurs in their lives, and the anxiety and pressure on them will also increase. Like because for some students, they not only have to bear the pressure from like academic pressure from schools, but also have to bear the pressure from domestic violence. So this is really serious problem. They can have very hard pressure, and they cannot contact to other people because under their parents' control. So most of them will actually choose a way to release their pressure, like self-destructive behavior, and that is really bad to their physical problem. So I'm going to talk about a hypothesis. That is of my hypothesis, like the victims of the domestic abuse themselves are more likely to become the perpetrators of it, because when they were younger, the parents, also the perpetrators, abuse them, and the children have a really great reading ability. So they're more likely to do the same to their next generation to express their emotions. And also, make their, if it bury, like to abuse others, like their friend or something, so that is also makes the cycle of domestic violence. So this is a really cycle of it. So that is also why it has to be prevented. So how does it carry out? Like for most of the perpetrators, they will use a kind of like mental manipulation. Like mental manipulation is a way like brainwashing. They will tell, like for some parents, they will tell the children that, oh no, should be lovely in the whole world. So to make them, like their children believe that their parents abusing them is not like to hurt them. They're like kind of way to protect them. So this is a kind of brainwashing to like to change the values of the norms of the society. So how can we do to help them, or how can we do to help them with society that take more kids? So for I need to give it. So this is the reference that made by Spanish designer. Yeah, and that's really useful because it's used the advantage of the height of between adults and the juveniles. In more it's focused on some kids, like only kids who is like lower than 135 meters tall will see the information inside of the billboard. And like for some adults, they cannot see it. They only see a boy standing on there, but some their kids will like see the number of it, like the number of the rescue station. So that's really useful because the victims can ask for help when, although the perpetrator is just around. And it is really useful because perpetrator will not notice it. But then the question came out, like how can we like popularize it without perpetrator notice, because there's a media will report it. So I think the best way is to popularize it without reports, like to secretly popularize it, because the perpetrators may purposely keep the children away from this kind of like billboard. So that is a really great way. So also for the schools, in some schools, this is a really great place because there are many victims inside of school, and this is like teachers is the person that the children can contact with. So to make the teacher be a listener, and maybe they haven't trained how to like help them, but at least they can do it. So to make the teacher be a listener, and maybe they haven't trained or some related departments. So that is also a really great way to save a lot of kids. But another thing that I have to mention is that the teachers cannot tell their parents that their children tell that they abuse them, because this is a really big risk. Because the parents definitely will reject the word. So the most effective way is that to tell the related department, like police or something, like directly to protect their health. So also, I found out that the concept of domestic violence for kids, they don't have many clear concepts of it. So I think schools should do something to help them. Like they can, when they were young, like in some before they come to schools, their parents, or not their parents, because parents will be perpetrators, like some teachers in preschools can tell them something about it, like how to identify it, how to seek help when they face it, and what kind of behavior is it, and what not. So that is also really important, because when they have this kind of concept, they will know what to say and how to seek help without their help. Yeah, and all of that is really useful. So also that I have to mention, or that's really important, and it needs to be improved, the laws of it. Like in America, like most of the perpetrators will get into prison for like 5 years or more. That is really great because the punishment is hard enough. But however in China, like some offenders of it will only just got a 15 days or 13 days detention, and that is not enough for it. So I think these things should actually improve, because if our society that need to like put more focus on it, like to take it seriously, I think law have to take it seriously first. So should that be tolerant in society, although they don't have any like serious impact on our society's working. So that's it. That's what I thought we could talk about today. Thanks.